Guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions once again. Thank you so much for liking and sharing, subscribing, and of course telling your friends about what we do right here at Gusto TV. We love you and we appreciate every one of you. Lala, you're very much welcome. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is Buju as an artist.
Yes. What's up? What
do you think there's a thin line between talent? I mean, for me, when I see Buju, I see talent and I see gross arrogance.
No, gross mismanagement. Or gross arrogance, which one?
Gross arrogance.
Every artist can be arrogant.
So, there was a particular podcast that I listened to yesterday. You know, if someone had to cut it and, you know, tag Buju and said, Oga, this road that you are going through right now, it is not good enough. If you're not very careful, you are going to fail at it.
Okay.
I had a personal experience with Buju before now. That person posted the podcast. Now, there's a guy called Straffiti. He's an artist. Buju was on the podcast and said, oh, there was this collaboration he wanted to do with Straffiti and everything, that when Straffiti called him, he said, oh, he needed some to, you know, to share something and everything. And then after that he did his own verse. And he said his verse was dope and everything. And then he gave Straffiti, that Straffiti did one thing and he didn't like it. Okay, why are you doing this? He gave Straffiti, you know, a verse. That Straffiti sang the song and everything, that was dope. That was that he said, oh, he wanted to help Straffiti to blow. And then when the final song came out, his own verse that he did for Straffiti wasn't there anymore. Straffiti had to do his own verse by himself and everything. And that when he said to me, like, what, like, this is trash and everything. The way he said it was quite condescending, you know, and it wasn't good enough. I mean, if you listen to the podcast and everything, same way, you know, it was called Baby Giant, you know, trying to badmouth a couple of other people. I, for one, had a personal experience with him, you know, in a very rude and uncouth manner. Very talented guy, you know, who, you know, does not know the difference between being, there's a thin line between trying to be confident and also trying to be, you know, arrogant.
Well, I think the story you just narrated, I think that happened, last year?
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. I think he later came out to offer an explanation. I think he did eventually said sorry in a kind of way for that. Well, the boy is young. It may appear as him appearing to be arrogant, and then then he was signed to Burna Boy. And everyone was trying to compare the
Baby Giant
and the African Giant in terms of how they relate with people, and it looked like they had similar traits of how they carry themselves. I think he had that episode and another episode with somebody else, and then he just mellowed down, and maybe perhaps Burna didn't like that because he wanted someone who was outspoken.
Exactly.
And Buju, yes, you can say very talented guy. He's unique in his sound. Thing about management, yes, his previous management, I think it's still the same management. They did right by him. I mean, they kind of like filter out the kind of things he put out. Once in a while he would come out and, I mean, the way Burna does. So maybe perhaps he was just trying to be like
being Buju,
being Buju, but trying to be like Burna, which didn't work out because he didn't have that status yet in the industry. He still needed to gather as much fan base as he could have.
Let's talk about Buju and Burna. Last year we saw the whole relationship between Buju, you know, and Burna Boy, and Burna appeared, you know, on that one Leno, you know, the remix, and of course the video sponsored by Spaceship Creative, and you know, a lot of people felt, Burna Boy finally, you know, got an artist who he could groom and all of that, and people started asking questions. What exactly is Buju doing with Burna Boy? Why don't we have a new single from him? Why don't we have projects from him and all of that? And then Burna came through sometime this year to say, he needs an artist that he wants to hand over to, because, you know, he needs someone who is, probably because he said Buju is too soft or something.
You say he's not outspoken like
outspoken and all of that. So
like
could it be that everything Buju did or has been doing was inspired by Burna Boy?
Of course, the way he carried, I mean, Burna kind of like transferred that energy to him. The energy of being confident in yourself. I mean, don't let anybody tell you otherwise and things like that. He transferred that energy. He was going on. I mean, he was doing that. So we didn't even know at that point whether he was legit. He was just doing it for doing sake. But then his personal management usually step in and they don't allow him to say things that are not, because whether you like it or not, Buju he has a long way to go in the industry. So he can't he can't start off with that sort of attitude. At least you need to have achieved something and be in a certain status before you can do that. Yeah,
and Spaceship Creative released a picture, last year as well. Mama Bosel Gulu, the Buju, Lyric, Burna Boy Tells, Nisi, and a couple of other people, on this particular team, and everyone felt, oh, Buju is finally, does have a home, to call, his home, like a record label to call his home and everything. But that didn't really go well, because since Buju is off right now, because a new single just dropped. Why did he name it Outside?
Well, they actually got me confused, because Burna Boy has been shouting outside. And then Buju came out. Buju had already announced that he's dropping a new single. That's when I already sensed that this guy don't finally X, because his whole social media didn't have anything to do with Spaceship or things like that. So he already announced that he was going to drop a single, and then when he dropped it and we saw Outside. Yesterday I saw Outside, right? And then Burna Boy, as soon as yesterday, was still shouting Outsider. So one would think, maybe perhaps Burna Boy is
pushing
Buju, but it's totally different.
But this is to your ears entertainment.
Yes, this space here is usually for the label.
Spaceship.
Copyright. So this is just indicating that Buju
he's moved on.
So this shows that he hasn't actually. He has actually moved on. And I don't know. Everything just seems a bit. I wasn't surprised really, because I already had some inside information about
the whole deal,
the way the whole thing out. So Buju is now in the market. Maybe not in the market, but he's now doing his thing, and now he can release music at will, which is good for his brand, which is what he needs. Buju before the Spaceship, this guy was dropping jams like every 2 months or thereabout. He was dropping songs, and the more songs you drop, the more people your songs
you reach,
you reach and things like that. So he's free right now. Okay,
so Outside is the name of the single. Burna Boy's latest or forthcoming album, has been termed, Outsider, according to what he's been trying to push around and everything. What is he trying to achieve with this particular?
I think, I don't know, perhaps he had recorded this song a long time ago and decided the title was going to be Outside. And bear in mind, since you've left Spaceship, you don't owe any other loyalty to Spaceship to anybody anymore, because whether they like it or not, majority of that money made from the 2 songs still has to go to the label before it trickles down to him. You get, so it doesn't owe them any sort of loyalty anymore. For me personally, I feel the deal did not go as it should have went. Right now, in hindsight, it's looking like a waste of time for Buju. Because fine, he made some progress. People got to know him because of the feature of
Burna,
featuring Burna and things like that. His ratings shot up a bit, but then that's the only thing he gained from it. Musically, he didn't really gain much, because his art suffered. He didn't release as much music as he should. In the space of 18 months? 18 months. He should actually have released more music, which he didn't.
Okay, talking about the move for Buju outside of Spaceship and everything, has Buju made the wrong or the right move?
Of signing to Spaceship?
Of leaving?
No, him leaving, I don't think it was a case of him leaving. It was a case of whatever arrangement they had with Spaceship ending. So it wasn't him just saying, I'm packing my bags and leaving. That wasn't what it was. So so many creatives find themselves in this situation. You just have to be lucky to find yourself in a label that believes in your craft, that's going to push you, that will make you release 4 songs in a year. Make you release unlimited features that you want, so that at least you're out there, you're dropping songs. These guys record songs close to, they can record in a month, they can have like 20-30 songs in a month. So why are you going to keep all that songs if you're not releasing them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all we have for you on this particular one. Buju and Burna Boy. Buju, of course, out of Spaceship right now, doing his thing. Wait for To Your Ears Entertainment. Yes, that one new single Outside is out right now. Guys, go stream that particular one. Of course, Burna Boy also still pushing his own Spaceship thing, Kilometer the Challenge. Everything is going well for Burna, everything going well for Buju as well. Buju also has like a #1 single on Apple Music with Ladipo right now. That one Feeling, doing really, really well. Of course, everyone must chop at the end of the day. Shout out to Buju, shout out to Burna Boy, shout out to Ladipo, shout out to everybody doing great music in Nigeria. Let's have your comment below. Buju standing and of course starting the To Your Ears Entertainment, good or bad move? Should he have stuck with Burna Boy, or the way he has left right now, is it a good one for him? Let's have all your comments below. We'll be right here to reply to every one of you. Thank you so much for liking and sharing. We love you. We'll see you on the next one.